So right now we have demands for more commercial zones in our city, and we have demands for more residential zones, which means a city is ready to grow. The only thing is I do not want to increase density in what we already have, which means that if we want to fulfill this demand, we will have to grow it outwards, which is something we can definitely do. I'm just thinking, if I want to expand out into this area, I should probably delete this road and then continue this big road that goes this way, and then here I can continue to have a firefighting depot, which doesn't have any vehicles in use right now because there's no fires, because it's winter, so there won't be any fires. If this was like the normal mode, I would have decreased the fire and rescue budget for winter, but since we are making quite a lot, I don't think I've ever made this much in like the normal mode, and this is also without like ever changing my taxes, so it's always been consistent 10%. My citizens would be really happy to live here. Okay, now actually before I expand into the city, I can decide to make things better here by first of all increasing the by adding some mail service over here, so I can have a small post office that I keep near the office area I have. And I'm wondering which one I should use. We have this one that has a storage capacity of 25,000. How much mail do we have coming into the city right now? I'm checking the wrong thing. Okay, we have 10,000 mails per month, or actually 11,000. So this should be enough, at least for the time being, given that I don't like add more stuff to this area. And usually places like this would be like a high density area, but we started off with a small. There has been a traffic accident over here. I want to witness one of these happen in real time. Like I want to know like what happens actually that causes these. But it's nice to know that our services are right on top of it. The helicopter came, doused the fire, and the police car is also securing the accident site. That's nice to see. It's also fun to see all the vehicles be almost completely covered up in snow. The other thing that I do want to do for these areas is to create some parking for them, but I'll get to that in a bit. I just realized that a lot of our roads have deteriorating quality, which means first and foremost we need a road maintenance depot, which I'm gonna keep over here in the outskirts of the city somewhere. So it is connected to a big road that has access to the entire city. Interesting, this whole street is one. The game has recognized this whole area as one street. Good to have, I guess. And so now we have a garage with a lot of snowplows working to clear up. Oh, interesting. So usually it would have like road maintenance vehicles, but now we will have snowplows because it's winter. That is a neat little detail. There's no snow on the roads that it is clearing up, but it's a good thing to have, I guess. Sometimes it feels really nice to just inspect a particular vehicle in your city and just see it go around, take a nice tour of your city, see people at work. It's really interesting. Cool. There's that. There's a random citizen over here who's walking somewhere, which actually reminds me, what happened to the citizen I was following? Got hired and will be working at Mouthwater Press soon. Nice. Graduated from Stanford. Okay, that's nice to have. Which reminds me, we need education buildings. I am completely not focused on one thing at all. I'm deviating a lot. Okay, hang on a second. So last thing I did was I built some parks over here, so there's a lot of leisure activity support over there. There's no parks in here, so I can think of picking a particular location where we have parks, so there's enough in that place to enjoy, and then create a whole park district here along with tourist attractions, so we can have that. Cool. And I just remembered the original thing I was trying to do was add mail, so I'm gonna create a small post office. I think 25,000 mail should be enough. Process storage capacity for what we have, or should I go with bigger handling just in case? There is also a historical post office. Interesting. We can definitely add that, but I think for now we can go with the Netherlands post office. Add that one here, and then add a bunch of mailboxes across the city. Keep one here. Mail accumulation. There's high mail accumulation in these places, especially the medium density housing. So I'm gonna place a bunch of these over here, one over here, and then one over here. I don't know how frequently you should place mailboxes. I barely ever sent any mails, so I don't know how far apart these should be. I think the ones that I have should be enough. If we ever feel the need to add more, I guess we could add more. Or I'm just gonna go ahead and add one for each of these streets that we have, so the mailboxes can collect from each one of them. Gather 10,000 tons of fish. Yay, achievement unlocked. That fixes unreliable mail coverage, and then what we had was unreliable telecom or internet service coverage. So we can create either a radio mast or a telecom tower, and I feel given that we have, whoa, that is a huge range. So radio mast is like very small, but the telecom tower is 5 kilometers. That is impressive actually. And then we also have modern telecom building, which is like citywide. Look at that area. I could place it like over here, one over here and one over here, and that would cover the entire city. And then I guess satellite uplink would do it for the entire city. So for now, I guess I can start with a telecom tower. That would be good enough. And where do I place it? Do I place it over here? Where do I want to expand right now? Do I want to expand into the islands, or do I want to expand inland? Okay, what I can do is I can keep it over here, close by the offices that we have, so they get good communication first and foremost, and then so do all of our other houses. We have good communication all across. The city has the most amazing healthcare system, and now we should also have, yep, there we go, best internet connection ever. You can download anything you want, go crazy. So yeah, for most part we do not have any traffic issues. I think for most part we are doing fine on that regard, and we have good flow of traffic between us within our city as well. There are some streets that are plagued with more traffic. I mean, this one is colored red, but I don't see much traffic here. And I think walkability in our city is also good. There's good paths to walk from one place to the other in our city, so that should also not be a problem. I can create a bunch of walking pathways across the city too, to make things easier. Yeah, there are a bunch of things that got unlocked in between. I don't think I have, yeah, there we go. We have interior design studio that I can add to one of these office locations, and then it can start getting employees soon enough. Yep, there we go, employees are gathering in. Oh yes, one of the things that I wanted to do was create a playground. I'm gonna prioritize having the children's clinic, so I can place it over here. We have upgraded into busy town, milestone 7 unlocked, which allows us to create gated community. We can create that later. I don't think we have a need for that right now. And then I can create a playground like this behind it, and then we can of course add extension wing, which I don't think we need it yet, but we might need it soon because we do have a lot of students. So I'll just create that as a sort of proactive measure, and then move this one towards the road so that there is easier access in and out of it. Let's see, I first also do want to create a high school. So the high school would come up somewhere around it too. Do I keep it close to the highway? That would be very noisy, not allow the kids to focus. So I guess I can start by placing it somewhere here. It is not exactly ideal. You know what, maybe I could do one thing. I can create like a separate road over here that goes out over here, but then it would be too close to the factories. We don't want that either. We can create it somewhere here. It's like, you know, it would be near the water, would look nice. So okay, one thing I can think of doing is first delete this, then move this closer to the office area so the students can look at the offices and be inspired one day to study and go to the offices. Don't know if that school of thought is neat or not. Then I can keep the high school on this side, and then the children's clinic that I had destroyed, I can bring it over here so it's within range of the students and also has good road connectivity to lead it elsewhere. So that can act as a secondary clinic as well, not just for the school. And then for the college I can create a school library, and I can create an extension wing, but not just yet. We still need more students to come up first, and then we can have a playground over here. This I guess should not be affected by the traffic behind it. So and it would also provide good connectivity for even folks who are going who are coming from outside town to come here and enjoy. So yeah, now we have a nice educational district, nice education flow. What I want to check is if we have students who are eligible for college. We do have 500 students. That's good enough for me to want to build a college. But now for the colleges, which one should I choose? This one can be upgraded with an extension wing and a library. A library is something I do want my students to have, although it is 2025. I don't know how much a library helps, but you know, always nice to have. Can never emphasize the significance of books enough. Then we have the Netherlands College Auditorium, which was recently renovated and okay, I can think of that later. We have the Modern Community College, which has a dormitory and a sports field. That is definitely a plus over the normal college, and also compared to the normal college, this also costs less. It also has less capacity, but I don't think we're gonna need 10,000 student capacity immediately. So we can build the Modern Community College. It will have a dormitory, which is good for folks who are coming from outside our town, and also a sports field. We don't have anything else unlocked just yet, so I'm gonna go ahead with the Modern Community College, and I do want it to be placed somewhere nice. So I'm gonna place it somewhere like this, I guess, like overlooking the water. Something like this, and then I want to see how the upgrades are. So this one is a separate building, which is a dormitory. Can keep it like this, close by. This is an extension wing, which you don't need just yet, and then there's a sport field, which is gigantic in size. So I'm going to keep it something like this nearby. What sport is this? It's a football field. Or is that ice hockey? Not, I mean, there's ice on it, but I don't think an ice hockey rink is open. I see goalposts, so it is giving me plus 40 outdoor recreation, so that's definitely a plus. But yeah, that's nice to have. I'm going to create a nice alley that leads into the school, which then I can extend. Oh my god, that looks ugly. Hang on a second, let me destroy that and then turn off snapping and then start it from the middle and then enable snapping and let it connect to my college. Cool. Okay, the sports field also needs road apparently. Can't just stay connected separately, so I could assign it to this alley over here, which would require me to shift the whole building a little bit off to the side. Okay, the whole thing is behaving weirdly. Okay, I'm gonna turn off snapping so I can align it with this road over here. Just move it enough that there is a space for me to create. There is space for me to shift this playground towards this road and then keep it nearby. Why do we still have problems? Oh, okay, the road was supposed to be from that side, my bad. So that would mean that I need to first delete these buildings, then move this around so that it is touching the alleyway, and then I can have the sports field like this nearby, and it's overlooking the water. It's overlooking the coast here, so it's a good location to have it be in. I'm just thinking, does this look fine? Because it kind of feels a little weird. Okay, the library, or rather the dormitory, I can have the dormitory here and then let the sports field be here. So I can just destroy this road and create the college dormitory like this right next to it, and then extend the alleyway outside. Like this, and then create a road like this, and or wait, let me first see if the sports field needs a road outside, because if it doesn't, then I'm just unnecessarily wasting time. Can do something like this. So one school of thought is I can just keep it like this, but I do feel like it would be nicer if it's like near the coast, because there's better views this way. And then I'm gonna, even though it's not needed, I'm gonna extend the alleyway to connect to my field over here, and then I'm gonna try to, the thing is, I want it to feel like a big campus, like one ground, like so. So I'm gonna try to extend this texture all the way over here, and then see if I can like make this whole thing feel like one ground. Let this come up over here, let this come up over here, and then this texture I can extend up until here. Same with this one, all the way up to 90 degrees. Bring it out, bring this out. Then just add some vegetation around it to make it feel like we have some borders, and of course use bigger age for the trees that we are creating. Then keep one here as just a single tree. And that's nice. And maybe then create a, oh my god, what is this? Observation tower? Oh, I could add something like this here. I'll get back to that in a bit. Right now I'm just focused on adding vegetation. Add a bunch of those. Delete this one. Add a new one over here. And then that looks nice. Keep going. Cool. I think that should be good enough. So we have like a nice college campus. We have the dormitory. We have some space out here. I could add some props in here, I guess. Not sure what would look good. I guess I can just let it be like a nice playground people can sit in and enjoy. Not that there's any less space for the college over here, but yeah, just let this be like a nice plaza area. And let's say like this is where the sports part happens, then this is where we can have a bunch of food stalls and kiosks and stuff like that. Can have a tool shed near so maybe this is where like the sports equipment is stored. We can have a trash container here, and then few pergolas near the entrances. And then where is the food kiosk? Yeah, there we go, food stalls. So bunch of food stalls near the stands. It's like folks come there to have some food while watching the game. Can place some of these there, and can have like a small stage here. Like this is where folks come to watch college community shows or something like that. And then have a bunch of seating. Neat. Then a bunch of seating over here. One bench that faces this way, like that looks good. Then we have a garden bench that can be placed outside. Let's say this is just where students want to sit, hang out, have some fun. I'm just thinking maybe we can add something else to make this place look slightly more lively. Add a fountain here, add trash bins near the food stalls as well, so folks have places to throw trash at. one over here. What else? Can have a table out here. Let's say this is where students gather to play games or something. Nice. Already the place is looking a lot more lively. Maybe we can have a hammock near the fountain for people to just sit and relax, I guess. Something like this. Cool. Already looking a lot better. Did somebody something Did somebody say something about gas? Cool. Lot of the houses are also leveling up. This is level 3, level 2. Has anything reached level 4 here? Is that something I can check? We have residential, building color, residential building, residential suitability. I don't think we have any level info. Maybe I might have stats somewhere that tell me about this. There have to be statistics somewhere that tell me about this. But anyway, yeah, citizens are really happy. We have a really nice place to live in. There's this weird empty area here because there's not enough demand for urban promenades, I guess. So I can think of shifting this to medium density housing instead, and like that probably would look better. So all in all, we have a pretty good town in here. You know, there's a lot of people who are moving out because I rezoned this part over here, but I think they should be coming back soon enough as the new houses are developed. The thing is, this is actually really bad zoning that the game has given me in here. What I can do is maybe try using the default type of zoning over here, because that tends to have assets that can fit into any lot size. So even like, for example, the Netherlands assets look good. This one has assets that actually fill up more of the space, letting it look less empty and sad. So there's that. Then there's low density housing here, which I can, let's say, upgrade. So we'll have a little bit of that. Or I can make it mixed housing, you know, because we do have commercial zone demand. So that could help out. Yeah, there we go. That looks already a lot better. I think I'll just go ahead and replace this also with the EU medium density housing, because there's just a lot of empty plot in there that I don't really like seeing. But I will make it small cell apartment buildings instead of these really small buildings, because I do want my citizens to have a little more space to live in wherever they are living in. Cool. That should also bring up the population up a little bit. For some reason, leafy greens still is not being able to find customers. You know what, I'm gonna actually look somewhere to see if I can find something for this. That moon is shining too brightly. I don't know what's wrong with that, but yeah, for most part I think our city is doing really good. We do have some traffic over here, which I can think of. Okay, that's just because we just created a lot more housing, so more people will be moving in, so that should be temporary only. I think there's nothing else left to do in this area, you know, apart from the tourist attractions what I want to create here. Apart from that, we are really good. Anything else that we want to do to meet these demands, I think we are gonna have to move outside. And we have a lot of empty space in here that could be filled in with something or the other. Maybe I could create more housing in there, probably, or I could decide to do something else. Whatever I decide to do, I'm gonna think of doing that later on. Oh, golden hour. Let's see how our city looks at golden hour. That's all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I'm pretty proud of the education district that I've created, and in the next video I finally get around to creating the park district that I've been talking about from 2 episodes ago. That's the life of an ADHD person. You try to do one thing, get distracted, and end up doing something completely different. But you know, if you're enjoying that kind of stuff, you know what to do. Like, share, comment, subscribe, help me out in the algorithm. And until next video, stay tuned. Have a good day. Peace out.